How you doing, Ralfy here, Ralfy Customs? Fucking a monsoon season has arrived. So we've got Chris's tracker in. You might have seen from my last vlog, I did the side stand. We extended the side stand 3 inches or so. That came out fucking lovely. And now we're just sorting the frame out. We've got this loop fitted and these bits of box that are going to be altered slightly to make slightly better fit at the back here. But we'll get those in and do that first thing this morning. And quick update on the Suzuki. The first part video should be out later today. I made the bearing cups for the bearings, for the headstock bearings, and got some fucking lovely tube that goes in between to make an headstock. And this morning the material for the yokes has come, so we're going to make a wide glide kit out of this. This a rather substantial billet of aluminium is going to make a wide glide kit. We're going to have to remake the top bearing cup to incorporate the steering stops. I've had a look on that there, Google, and I've come up with a cunning plan. I've come up with a cunning plan. So that'll be in the feature video in the Suzuki 600 rigid build, or whatever I decide to call it. But I'm going to make another bearing cup this morning too. And we've dragged the Triumph out and propped some handlebars on there. Two of my friends were here on Saturday and they tried to convince me to finish the Triumph and ride it, keep it like, you know, do the Suzuki and sell it, or keep it as a donor bike to sell it to someone. And to be fair, that idea is not off the table as such. I'm going to have another coffee, I'm going to do Chris's tracker bits, and I'm going to have a good look and a good fucking think. The thing is, I'm going to really enjoy building the Suzuki, which is what it's all about really. I could build it and then sell it, I guess, and get this finished and choose between the two. We'll see. I would do this slightly different if I was keeping it. Still with the same loop on the back and that seat and the tank arrangement, but I'd put like standard position mid controls and those mini apes, sit up and beg bars. So it'd be more like the XS 1100 that I did about this time last year, or about a year and a half ago, was it? I can't remember. But more like that, more like the old 80s, 90s, bit of a lowrider type thing. Hey, new polisher wire wheel. The old one got a bit too tired, bless it, so we got a new one there. Just caught that with the camera, that's why I mentioned it. It's a Suzuki, Mr. Suzuki. I'm holding this petrol tank and it's fucking digging in my fingers, so I'm going to braze that filler neck in and fill these holes for Chris. I'll probably do that today as well. I'll film that. Be interesting. But it's Adine's chopper, man. That's coming out. The mothballs are coming off. I've in my head. Let's move this wood. I've binned off this caliper that suits the disc. That is for that. Here we go. Husqvarna disc that I've made the adapter plate for, and I'm going to use a different one because that don't lend itself to a nice plate or a fixing that was going to be okay. So we're onwards and upwards with that too. And of course we've got Dex Bat Bike Blade Runner type, or Blood Runners if you remember. Wait, let's get rid of this swing arm, the old swing arm, put it with this rest of his bits. Look, there you fucking go. Look at that. I see, it's lovely now. Well pleased. He's well pleased. everyone's well pleased, everything fits as it should and suits it. It's got quite a mean stance to it. Needs to go down a little bit at the back, needs some slightly shorter. But he's not having struts, he's going to have shockers. Actually, they're about bob on, that's level. So, good call there. Ralfy, sits lovely. What I've done here, this filler, this is a stainless insert that needs brazing in. Can't weld it, it's stainless and steel. So non-ferrous and ferrous kind of mixing. So I'm going to braze it, but there's absolutely no way I could machine that down enough to fit in that filler neck. So I've took the big old sander and I've sanded the very top off, and that has released. Look, I've just released the inside bit. Now we can get that a good old clean up, and it is a fucking mess in there. Look, it's got old sealer and all sorts of shit going on in there. So we can get in with that, give it a good clean up, and then we can look at fixing that in place. It needs to go a little bit higher than that. I'm not making a very good job of showing you, but I'll show you when I've got it cleaned up and tacked in. So we've cleaned that up, and we've put some tape around the cap to protect it, and we've used a little system of washers in 3 different places around it, and eyeballed it straight and got it where we want it. So I should be able to unscrew that. Here we go. To reveal the welding job. Again, I'll tape the threads up. If I'm going to MIG it, I might MIG it, you know, because such a fucking gap. I might MIG it, I might MIG them. The whole thing needs sealing anyway. It's only got to be structurally sound and not obviously have big gaps, you know. The sealer will take care of any porosity issues. I think that might be the way to go. So we're all tacked up. That'd be nice when it's all welded in. We need Chris to come now and decide about his rear mudguard. I'm going to look at making a bracket for the front mudguard in the meantime. We have the filler neck welded in. It's still quite warm. I think good choice on the MIG. I'll give that a quick dress up, although it don't really need a lot. And Bob's your fucking auntie. And here's Brian's riser block. Fresh out of the shop last day, they were shortened 2 inches shorter, was it? Ready for powder coating or whatever he chooses to do with it. I'll give it a nice uniform finish there with a blasting medium. So that's ready for him when he's ready. So now we're on to the front mudguard stays. Chris sent me a couple of pictures of the sort of thing he wants, and basically it's these 2 mounts on the forks. We're going to bring a bit of flat off, say roughly here, nothing's crucial here, and then we're going to run hoops of solid at some kind of angle over to encompass these with a little bracket. So proper old school, proper off-roady, army styley kind of thing. Love it. And we've had, well, 3 attempts at making the loop. One was formed around a fire extinguisher, one was using thicker material around a smaller former, and we found a Goldilocks one. So that's too small. Well, that's too small. That's even fucking smaller. But we'll go too hot, too cold, just fucking right. There's a couple of loops. We're going to make the flat bits. We're going to get them bolted on, and then we're going to position these, trim them, tack it all up, onwards and upwards. So, yep, there we go. That's those mocked up. The bits of flat there on holes that are milled to a slot to allow for a bit of adjustment and a bit of this, that and the other, so it makes it easier to fit. I'm not going to trim the mudguard down because Chris needs to confirm exactly where it's going to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the top tabs, make the mounts for here, get them tacked on, strip it down, weld it up, and then we're waiting on Chris. P. And there's my version of it. I think it's that way around. I don't know actually. Whichever way around it goes, but I've gone for the 2 points. I didn't fancy the middle. It gives you a rocky docker. Gives something the mudguard. It's not enough. Basically, I wanted 2 pivot points. Fucking hell, 4 mounting points. There you go. Yeah, so I've got a dirty lens. Alright. How's that? No fucking better. That's on. I've done mounting for the seat with put some brackets in to support it on the rubbers on here, and we've got a tab that goes under that there. Can't do the back until we mount the mudguard. Can't do mount the mudguard until we see the customer. Well, the customer sees it, Chris. We can't do that. We can't do this electrics. Can't do fuck all now. That's it. So that's your lot for this one. So where to end? Where to end? Oh well, you might remember the Triumph cash racer that I was building. Well, now I'm not. Look, there's the lump. There's the front end. There's the back wheel. And there's the headstock I've just made. So you have to stay tuned or follow me to see quite what's going on there. Now it's time for a spot of lunch. Got the old dog food, beef stew. It's actually, it's really nice actually. And we'll call it a day.